In this video, I'm going to show you the best lockdown coverage defense in Madden 21 that everybody's using right now to lock up pretty much any pass play that you could face. Now, this isn't going to be your typical man defense with the zones. We're switching it up and going all out zone for today's video. It's extremely important that you go to your coaching adjustments before running this defense. You want to make sure that your flats are set to 25, your curl flats are set to 0, and your hooks are set to 10. We're going to be in the 3-3-5 wide defensive formation, which is a formation I've broken down a lot of defensive plays out of this year, so I will link them all below in the pinned comment if you want to check out some of the other lockdown defenses that I've posted. The play we're going to look at is the 3 Sam Will Blitz. I will have all of the playbooks up on the screen right now where you can find this play. So first I'm going to show you kind of the base setup, and then I'm going to show you some other things you can do with the defense a little bit later in the video to make it even better, so make sure to stick around. Now this is a pretty easy defense to set up on a basic level. What we want to do first is shade down and then shade back up. We do this by pressing wire triangle down the right stick, then we press wire triangle again and then go up on the right stick. Now what this does is it turns those curl flats into cloud flats. Now I find after some of the updates in the game, this is the best way to play zone drops on the outside. Typically we were putting our curl flats to 25 yards and dropping them back, but I noticed that with this play in particular, the cloud flat safeties defend way better to the sideline than the purple zones are. Don't know why, but that's just the case. So make sure you shade down, shade up. That is the first step. Then you want to come over here to your outside linebacker on the left. You want to drop him into a curl flat. You press A or X and then right on the left stick. Now remember, this curl flat is set to 0 yards, so it's going to play aggressive in the flat. This cloud flat is set to 25. It's going to drop really far back. Now after you put this guy into a curl flat, the quickest way to get to the other linebacker is to tap the B or circle button twice. So you hit it twice and then you're on your other guy and you want to drop him into a curl flat as well by pressing A or X and then right on the left stick. So what we've done is we've Mabeled both sides of the field. We're going to take away deep crossers, deep corners to the sidelines, but we're going to absolutely lock up flat route. The last thing you really have to do is get back to your user in the middle, and I do like to blitz him because if you know, blitzing your user makes him move around better on the field, gives him a little bit better agility for whatever reason. So you press A or X and then down on the right stick to blitz him. Now this is the base setup right here, and I just want to show you how good this defends a lot of stuff people like to do to the sideline. So again, you know, it's on us. We want to just defend things over the middle. You get good pass rush out of this formation as well, and you can see we got to Matt Ryan very quickly. So here we go again. This is the setup right here. We're taking away the middle of the field. Now if your opponent's doing more things over the middle, I'm going to show you another setup you can use to give you a little bit of help, but right here, this is all on you in the middle of the field to kind of take stuff away. You have to kind of just be really good with your user. Here you see we're all over RB. There's nothing open, and I want you to watch this in the replay here. We should have got an interception right there, but sometimes linebackers in coverage aren't that good, which is why I'm going to show you a little tip later in the video to make that better. But I want you to watch here. Watch both outsides. This is typical of something you'll see people do in Madden. They like to have a deep corner route and a flat route on the outside because it does a really good job against zone, and a lot of times those corner routes can do good against man. Look at the left outside. We are bracketed right here. We have our cloud flat dropping right underneath, and we have our deep zone over the top. This is not a good throw. Right here and the flat, you can see we've dropped to 0 yards. If you want to throw this right here, there's a good chance we jump this for a pick, or at the worst, we're going to tackle him for 1 yard gain at best. And then over here on the other side of the field, same thing. We did wind up throwing this. We didn't get the interception, but this is locked up. And again, you can see bracketed corner over here. If it was a deep crossing route, it would be the same thing. It would be bracketed to the sideline. And then, of course, we're sitting over the middle. And really quickly, if you're enjoying this video and finding it helpful, I would appreciate if you subscribe, turn the bell icon on so that you get notified when I drop videos like this more often. Again, you shade down, shade back up, get on this linebacker, put him into a curl flat, hit the B button twice to get over here, put him in a curl flat, and then you want to blitz your user and you're set up. Again, you're really reliable here, this play relies on you being very good over the middle of the field, but you can see this defense is so good because the pass rush is so good out of it as well. Now let's say you need a little bit more help over the middle of the field because your opponent's sending more routes over the middle. We can still set up the base defense the same way. We shade down, we shade back up, we put our outside linebackers in the curl flats, but then we might want to take our defensive tackle and drop him back over the middle. So we press A or X, and then you can see here on the left, we can drop him into a hook curl to the left or to the right. I'm going to drop him into a hook curl to the left because I'm going to use the right side myself. So I would go left on the left stick here, and you can see now we're going to have a little bit more help. I'm going to go ahead and blitz my user. So let's say we're in a situation like this. I got to watch this. I got to go here. Maybe I jump back down here. And again, look how quick the pass rush is. So crazy. That's one of the things that makes this defense is the fact that the pass rush and the block sheds are really good. But watch what I do here. I take the route over the middle briefly, and then I jump back over here briefly to this tight end because the tight end is coming open right here. But if my opponent were to see this and say, oh, it's open, he goes to throw it right here. I've now baited that pass. I'm going to get this interception with Levante David. But now I also see that I got to jump down here. And what I'm doing with my linebacker here is doing the cat and mouse game, right? I'm trying to bait into him throwing me an interception. This is why you want to blitz your user so that you can move around better. He might look here. I got this covered. Now I'm bailing here. Now I'm bailing here. My opponent has to guess right, and sometimes he may, but the one time he guesses wrong, I'm getting an interception. But even just that quick, the pressure was already to him, and as you can see, our flat zones have everything taken away on the flats. We've got the deep zones back here. So now that I have left this open, if he goes to throw this here, there's a good chance that this deep guy can make a play on this ball. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but this is not as open as it looks. I can promise you that. This route is now open, but again, I've been baiting around with my linebacker to the point where I'm making my opponent hold the ball. He's not going to feel comfortable just making a split decision, and if he does, I'm going to likely get an interception. But of course, in a situation like that, if you see your opponent is sending a lot of things over the middle of the field, you can always readjust the play to your liking. For example, I can go ahead and say, you know, instead of putting this guy into a curl flat, maybe I man up the tight end. Maybe I go A or X up on the right stick, and then I man him up to A because I say he's going to run vertical. I want somebody with him the whole way, and then I drop this guy back into a hook curl right here, and then I'm going to worry about mainly, I'm going to take RB and then take the running back. So watch this. I'm going to go up here, then I'm going to come back down. Look at the pass rush. That's what makes it good. The pass rush is so crazy. So in that situation, I needed a little bit more help. I set up my defense to do that for me. So watch right here on the replay. You can see with Levante David, I know if my opponent's running this play a lot, I've got to take away the RB route briefly. I got to run with it just so my opponent thinks that's no good. I've now manned up the tight end, so I know that the flat is going to be wide open, so I got to hurry up and run down here and make this a tough throw for my opponent. If he throws it to the running back here, I can maybe pick this, or I can hit him and make him drop the ball. But again, what makes this defense so good is the pass rush. Look at this, especially if these guys get double teamed. They always split double teams very easily in this game. So you have two people rushing, getting quick pressure, and we have our zones and everything set up to really take things away. Again, if you want to try to fit this in here, you know, that's going to be a tough throw because one or two of these guys are going to converge on this, and you know in this game, if you breathe on wide receivers, they drop the ball. Now, to make this even better, if you use the 4-6 defensive playbook, you can come out in the nickel 3-3-5 and audible to 3-3-5 wide. Why this is crucial is because you can sub in 3 safeties at linebacker in the regular nickel 3-3-5. Now, for the Bucs, I'd probably be better off leaving somebody like Devin White in the game because he's better than the backup safeties for the Bucs. But if you play Ultimate Team or something, for example, you want to come into this, hit the RB button, and then you can go select your linebackers and you can put safeties in there who are going to cover better. And then you can audible to 3-3-5 wide. Just make sure that you have the right defensive play in your audible. So you want to open the 3-3-5 wide formation, you hit the left trigger or the L2 button, and then you want to replace one of these audibles. So let's say we're going to replace Tampa 2, we hit the LB button, and we want to select the Sam Will Blitz. Now we have that in our audible. So now we can come out in the nickel 3-3-5, and then we immediately audible by pressing X or square. We go left on the D-pad, and then we're going to select the Sam Will Blitz 3. And then we do have to hurry up a bit, and we have to set up our defense, but as you can see, I mean, it doesn't really take that long to set it up. It is something you have to practice. I'm not going to sit here and say it, you know, it's the easiest thing in the world, but if you practice it, you're good. And again, look at the pressure. Everything is locked up. We now have safeties on the field. There's nothing they can do. So again, you want to hit the X or square button left on the D-pad. You want to audible into the Sam Will Blitz. Again, you do have to set up your defense quite fast here. I'm not going to act like it's the easiest thing in the world. You do need to practice a little bit, but as you can see, I set it up extremely quickly. It's just something you've got to get better at. And look, nothing is open. Maybe A was slightly coming open at the end there, but the pressure was already on the QB. And again, when you mix this in with some of the other coverage defenses I've shown you in the pinned comment, some of the man-style defenses that are a little bit safer in terms of having everybody manned up, and some of the blitzes that you can do, when you start mixing in the zone coverage with it, it just throws people off like crazy. So if you study those defenses below and mix it in with this, I promise you, you'll be locking up people in Madden 21 with ease. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of these other videos right here, and I will see you guys next time.